Hey guys, what's up? Nico again here. And in this 3D printed profits episode, I have with us the lovely Ashely. Hi, Ashely.
Hello.
Where are you coming from?
I'm coming from Los Angeles, California.
LA. All right. I just got done with Irmer, who was in San Diego. I'm in Sacramento. Now you're in LA. A lot of Californians now on our show. Um,
Definitely.
so we're just gonna talk to Ashley about how her business started, so on and so forth. Before we do start, make sure you guys again join us in the 3D printed profit side hustle group. The link for that is in the description below, where we just chat, talk about business tips, marketing, so on and so forth. It's a good place to hang out and talk business. So make sure you guys join us. And without further ado, let's start. Ashley, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. I'm very excited.
Me too. So let's start with your background. Is this whole business thing, is it still a side hustle for you?
It still technically is considered my side hustle, but I'm on the road to making it my full-time hustle, I
Good.
guess.
All right. Cool. 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 So what is it that you do currently for a day job outside of 3D printing?
Yeah, for sure. My day job is I'm a freelance graphic designer.
Okay, cool. So you're an artist.
Yes.
Sweet. Um, and how did you get into 3D printing?
So I got into 3D printing, I want to say about 4 years ago, and it was just I started kind of getting into the DIY scene, I guess,
Mhm.
and I saw the YouTube channel Adafruit, and I saw that they were making these like retro handheld 3D printed like handheld gaming systems, and I was like, oh my gosh, that looks amazing.
They're cool, right?
Yeah, I mean, to this day, I still have not made one, but that was kind of the jump start. And at the time, I had one friend who had a 3D printer. You know, granted, 4 years ago, 3D prints looked a lot different than they do
Yes, they
now.
did.
And
They sure did.
yeah, and so I was buying prints from him for various things, and it got to the point of where even he was like, "Hey, you should probably just buy your own printer at this point." And then that kind of started it, and now I have like 13 printers.
Okay, okay, that's a lot. We went from 0 to 13 real quick there. So
Yes.
let's dive into the business here a little bit. So what was your first machine?
So the first 3D printer I had was the G-Tech A10.
The A10. Okay.
Yeah,
How
which I
much did
think it
that
was
how much did that run back then?
um I want to say I paid 200 for it.
That's not bad.
That's not bad, yeah. And that was like 4 years ago.
Even
So
4 years ago, $200 is not bad because it's
yeah,
4 years ago was $800.
right. And I don't even know how I think I got it through a friend, which might have been why it was so cheap. Like he had a contact with G-Tech because I was like, oh, should I get the Ender 3 or should I get this, right? Because Ender 3 was always what everyone was saying. And my friend was like, hey, here's a link, get this one, $200, and it's basically the same.
Nice. Okay. And what is it that you sell?
So I sell a variety of 3D printed things, but it's not your typical like tchotchkes and stuff. I
Okay.
actually have some of this stuff with me to show off. I sell a lot of Glowforge laser printer or laser. I hate that it's called a 3D printer because it's a laser and not a 3D printer.
All right.
But the Glowforge laser, I sell a lot of 3D printed accessories. So like this is a thing that you can put in the laser. It's hard to see, but it has different steps.
Uh-huh.
And then so for different material thicknesses, so that it's the right height for the laser to uh, engrave and cut stuff out. And then my most popular seller is this thing, which looks crazy, right? Just super simple. And this is for crafters who make vinyl cups, who put like vinyl names on cup. You just set the cup in
Okay,
there.
so you use the 3D printer to make tools.
Yeah, basically like
That
crafting
is
tools.
so cool.
Yeah. And so you put the cup and then it won't roll over. And then my third bestseller are these little Funko Pop wall mounts.
Oh, you are a genius for that one.
I don't know, I think the chair is blocking it, but I have them on my wall.
So I have a friend, shout out to Chemo and Tracy, a buddy since middle school. He has a pop problem. I think he's going to see somebody for it.
Oh,
Um,
wow.
yeah, it started off a little, just like one or two, then it became 20. I'm pretty sure he has a whole wall of it now.
Wow.
Yeah. I think he's gonna go see somebody for it.
They're pretty cute though. I see how that gets you.
I can see the appeal. I can definitely see the appeal. So how much are you making on the business now?
So right now I'm selling through Etsy pretty exclusively, unless it's like a close friend of mine. And I make anywhere, because you know how Etsy will vary, anywhere from $700 to $900 a month
Okay, dude, that's
just
not
on these
bad.
3D printed items. I do sell other things on there, but the 3D printed uh, items are the best sellers, obviously.
Man, for you to turn $200 into 4x that in a month is pretty phenomenal. Good job.
Yeah. You know, and then obviously too, some months are a little bit lower, some months are a little higher. It just kind of depends
Right.
on the
Sure.
flow of the economy.
Absolutely. Um, so how did you come up with the idea to get these tools? I mean,
Yeah, so it's kind of not an inspiring story at all. I like for this cup holder, this was the first thing I made. And I had just got a Cricut during the pandemic, and I was like making these cups because like all of my friends decided to get married within like the same year and started making like all these bridesmaid cups. And I was like, these stupid cups keep rolling around the table, like it's so annoying. And then at the time too, I had very, very basic 3D modeling. So I went into Fusion 360, made this half circle with a little base, and then printed it out. And then my cup wasn't moving. And I was like, oh, maybe other people could use this. And then like
necessity
one
is
or
the mother of invention.
yeah, and then one or two like YouTubers who do Cricut stuff picked it up and then kind of went from there.
That's awesome. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So how did you find your first clients and your first customers?
Um, I don't know. I feel like that's kind of hard to pinpoint just because I've always like when I went to art school to get my degree, it's always kind of been like, hey, can you make this for me? Like that kind of thing. And then it was just somewhere down the line, someone's like, hey, you should start an Etsy shop. And so at the same time, I started my YouTube channel and my Etsy shop. And then it was focused more on like custom wood items, and it's just kind of morphed into like the 3D printing stuff, and then these kind of DIY like wood kits.
Okay. And let's talk about you. You just mentioned YouTube. Are you a full-time YouTuber as well? Is YouTube an income source for you as well?
Yeah, I definitely would not say full time. I would like it to be, but I've had it for quite a while, and I just finally started kind of, I guess, taking it more seriously. So I have met the requirements to start making money for it.
Oh,
But right
congratulations.
now, huh?
I said congratulations.
Oh, thank you. And then right now I'm making about $100 every other month from the ad revenue of YouTube.
Mhm.
Um, and that's with me making anywhere from 1 to 4 videos a month.
Okay, dude, that's not bad.
Yeah. So, and then obviously the next goal is to get like 100 every month. So,
There you go. Yeah, there you go. And so when you got your first clients, your first customers and all that, what happened next? Did you just take the profits from there and then grew your print farm? Is that how that went?
pretty much, yeah. Yeah, pretty much at the beginning, anything I was making, I was just reinvesting it back into my business, let alone just to make it a legal business to get my LLC and stuff. And then as soon as I got that taken care of, then it was just a printer. And then it would be like one of my printers would break. And I don't super like the tinkering side of 3D printing. So I was like, oh man, I don't have time to deal with that. Let me buy another one in its place and get it up and going, which is not cost effective.
No, I mean an Ender 3 is $100, right?
Right. And then so I would do that, and then finally be like, okay, I have the time. Let me go fix my 3D printer that's broken. 9 times out of 10, it's like a 10-minute fix. And then I'd be like,
Mhm.
okay, well, here's the next one to put into the farm. So and that's kind of how it grew. So I have 13 printers, like I mentioned. 11 of them are FDM, one is resin, and one I've loaned to a friend because they've recently got into 3D printing.
Nice. Okay. Um, so we have 13 machines. And what kind of machines are they?
Oh man, it's like a hot mess. The my A10 that I originally had that died like super died, like I ran it into the ground. And then that same thing happened with my second printer, which was an Ender 3. So now I have the Ender 5 Pro,
Hmm.
the really big one. I have a Artillery X1, the original version. I have the Artillery Baby X1, which I think is called the Genius, maybe. I have the Pearson Mini, which is actually my least favorite machine.
You are the first to say that.
I know. I get a lot of slack from it.
You're gonna say that on YouTube?
I know. They're coming for me. I know.
Oh my gosh, the poor comment section.
You might have to bleep it out when you go to edit it.
Well, why don't you like your Prusa?
I honestly don't know. So I pre-ordered it like when it was first available for pre-order.
The
So I
MK3?
don't know if that might have to do with it, but it's actually been my most unreliable machine,
No kidding.
which is insane because I bought it because everyone was like, oh my gosh, Prusa's like no issues, all
Yeah,
this stuff.
great out of the
Right?
box. No, nothing.
Yeah. So I put it together, and then I thought maybe the issues were from me putting it together wrong. Took it all apart, put it back together, and still having the same kind of issues. And I think what it really came down to was the probe for the auto leveling. And then so I pretty much have to adjust the offset of the probe like every other print. So that's why it's like my least favorite. Like it does produce fantastic quality prints, but it's an extra step that I don't want to deal with.
That is annoying. Like
Yeah.
every other print you have to mess with, that's annoying.
Yeah. And then I have a couple of the Neptune Elegoo 2s.
Those are nice.
Yes, I do like those. Those might be my favorite. And I have an artillery Hornet.
Okay. Wow. So what? Okay, I guess a better question would have been, what don't you have for machines? I think that would have been a better question.
Maybe.
Um,
Yeah, I probably should have stuck with one brand, but
I mean, yeah, because now every time you go to the slicer,
yeah,
you gotta, okay, what machine am I putting this on?
right.
Right? For me, it's like I only have one machine and it's an S4. I don't have to deal with which profile am I using. Ah, shit, I used the wrong profile.
Right.
Right?
Yeah, I think eventually I do want to get to that point, kind of like maybe sell off some of my other ones and get either all Elegoos or something.
I think a set of Neptunes would be good, or just a whole mess of Ender 3s or Ender 5s.
Yeah.
So you're a graphic designer, right? Do
Mhm.
you do, aside from Tinkercad, do you do any other design work?
Like in regards of like 3D modeling.
Yeah.
So I actually have only used Tinkercad once for a tutorial I did. And I don't know, I really struggled with it. I think it's almost too easy. I know that sounds insane and I know it's perfect for people, but I don't know if it's just because like, my background is that I use like the Adobe suite like every single day of my life. So then to come into Tinkercad and have it be like, oh, just drag this block here. So I typically use Fusion 360, but my CAD skills are not very advanced. I'd say kind of basic to intermediate. It's something I want to work on so I can make more complex models. But I basically just have the skills just enough to get by on selling my own products.
Okay. So you don't do any design services?
No.
What about print services? Do you do any of those?
I will only if it's like a bigger quantity, so
Okay,
like,
so production style.
yeah,
Okay.
just because I don't want to kind of bog down like, oh, one
Yeah,
of this.
it's got to be worth it to you, right?
Yeah, because like you have to switch it out, filament colors, slicing, all that stuff. So it's kind of hard. You got to make that call sometimes.
Cool. So what have you tried to increase sales? Have you tried like Etsy ads, Facebook ads, anything of the sort?
So I haven't like tried actual Etsy ads just because I didn't want to pay for it, or like Facebook ads really. I'm kind of on the cheap side.
Mm-hmm. I mean, we all
So
are.
yeah, so what I've done to boost sales the most, which, and like some people don't like this either, is I have reached out to influencers to send them my products, and that for me has worked the best. Be like, hey, so and so, can I send you my Glowforge starter kit, or can I send you this cup keeper thing? 9 times out of 10, they say yes, and then the influx I get from that is worth the like, $10 I lose out on or whatever. And then even some of them will turn around and be like, hey, can I get like a coupon code for my audience? And then I'll give them like a 10% off coupon code for Etsy. And then it just brings them coming back. So that's been like my kind of best way to boost it. And then Etsy now run ads for me, even though I don't want them to, because once you hit a certain threshold, you can't like opt out.
Right. And that's one of the biggest moans and groans of everyone on Etsy is like, dude, I don't want to. You're just basically taking money, right?
Yeah.
That isn't yours, thieves.
Seriously, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, I'll say that
But
on YouTube. What, Etsy? What?
yeah, it's hard because at the same time, though, they bring like 80% of my traffic. So if
Oh,
I leave them, it's,
that's a lot. Um,
so
so do you have your own website then, or is it because you said 80% comes from Etsy? What's the other 20%?
from social media, from like Instagram or TikTok.
Okay, so they just buy directly from you.
Yeah,
Okay.
I did have a website, but then the person who was hosting it, it like, I don't know, it expired, and then I kind of wanted to revamp anyways, and so I haven't just taken the time to redo my website.
I see. I see. Um, so what else is working today in terms of marketing? Is it just all word of mouth, influencers?
I think I think right now today, I think influencers are key, which is kind of a little bit on the unfortunate side because sometimes an influencer will reach out to you, and if you say no, if it's like not the right deal for you or something, then they're like, oh, well, I'm going to tell all my followers how terrible you are. So it's kind of like,
My God,
yeah,
is that for
I
real?
can't, yeah, I haven't had
That's
it
so
happen to me,
toxic.
but some friends have, and I'm like, that's insane,
That's
and
so crazy.
yeah, so it's just unfortunate. So like influencers right now are kind of the biggest thing because most people are like, oh, I don't really trust this Amazon ad because there's been so much history of like these sellers buying these 5-star reviews. So they're like, let me go to YouTube, let me go to Instagram, see what these people are saying about this product. So,
I see. So, do you have any new products coming out with, I mean, that's part of the growth, right?
yeah,
Is creating new product because once you stagnate, there's no middle ground. There's no stagnation. Either you're growing or you're dying.
yeah,
So, you're coming up with new products, right?
yeah. So I am coming up with some new stuff. One product actually that I am developing, I'm in the process of getting a patent for, which is
Congratulations.
which is really exciting. So I can't really
Yes.
talk about it on here at the moment.
Yep. Nope. We're not going. Shh.
Yep. And so it's kind of one of those things though where it's like it's scary but exciting,
Mm.
So
Are
I'm
you going
working
through a
on
patent
that.
attorney for that?
Yes. So I'm working with
Good.
a company doing that.
Good.
And hopefully by the end of this year, we'll kind of figure out the path of that product. So that'll be good. Um, and then coming out, I think in the fall, hopefully, is I'm going to be coming out with kind of like a crochet line, like crochet tools, like crochet markers, like yarn bowls, different kind of styles. So kind
Wow.
of catering to the fiber arts community, trying to break into a couple new crafting communities.
That is so. I never would have thought art tools would be like a market. I had no idea.
Oh, it's insane.
You can actually, we'll talk about it offline.
Okay.
Talk about it offline. I don't want to get too far in and say some things that we don't want to say. Um, so I guess that's what's next for you. So actually that's it for me. Let's wrap this up with your number one tip for anyone who wants to start their own 3D printing business.
I think the number one tip is you just got to try it. Like, don't be afraid of failure. Like the first couple things, that I designed that I thought would be amazing fell super flat, but you can't let that get you down. You got to just keep going for it because, you can make 30 different products, still nothing, but who knows, your 31st could be like the best seller of all time.
You just need one.
Yep.
That one. Cool. Ashley, thank you so much for being here. I really, really appreciate it. Make sure you guys tune in Monday through Friday, 6 a.m. Pacific for episodes just like this and lovely people just like Ashley. Ashley, say bye.
Bye.
Bye, guys.